Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. Lesotho Tzu Chi volunteers teach Jing Si Aphorisms and bring positive impact to local teenagers. Seniors attend weekly classes at Kaohsiung care stations and feel younger and revitalized. Volunteers continue to care for impoverished children in Texas after Hurricane Harvey. In Lesotho, Tzu Chi volunteers recently traveled to the community of Nazareth to care for teenagers. The local volunteers have been teaching these children Jing Si Aphorisms by integrating them with pictorial books. After a period of time, these teenagers have absorbed the positive spirits and transformed to be polite and compassionate. Let's take a look.
In the early spring, it is still cold in Lesotho. However, in the community of Nazareth, the flowers are already blooming. Tzu Chi volunteers have come to care for these teenagers.
Tzu Chi family in Nazareth, so we want to see how Sister Matado and other volunteers transfer Master Wisdom's teaching to the kids.
Sister Mathato has integrated Jing Si Aphorisms with the reading of pictorial books. She encourages the children to share their thoughts and practice what they've learned.
In the past, I liked to complain and I was impolite to the seniors. However, after reading Jing Si Aphorisms, I've gotten rid of these bad habits. Now I like to help people. I've learned about be willing to do, be happy to bear.
The children have learned and transformed. These children who are used to being with the nature have learned to be grateful after receiving help.
Teaching our children a good future, we are changing our child's life.
The volunteers lead the children to chant Amitabha to express their best wishes. The seeds of love have sprouted in their young minds.
In the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers recently visited Javo San Jose, a boy who suffers from hydrocephalus. From 2004 to 2009, Javo has undergone 3 facial reconstruction surgeries at Daling Tzu Chi Hospital with the help of Tzu Chi volunteers. Recently, volunteers traveled to Naga City to check on his situation and catch up again with Javo's family. When Javo's mother saw Tzu Chi volunteers, she was both excited and happy.
The volunteers are buying rice and toast, which are the gifts for their old friends. After hugging the volunteers, Javo San Jose's mother immediately brings out Javo, who sits in a wheelchair.
I'm very excited. We haven't seen each other for so long that I thought they have forgotten about us.
Seeing these old friends, Javo's mother updates them on the current situation.
When he is hungry, he calls out for me. He calls me when he needs to go to the restroom. Whenever he needs something, he will call me.
She said that her daughter's job is also unstable, that she can only afford to buy food. Sometimes when they don't have the money to buy medicine, Javo will twitch when he sleeps. Javo was born with hydrocephalus, a cleft lip and palate, a blind-eyed and deformed limbs. From 2004 to 2009, he has undergone 3 facial reconstruction surgeries at Daling Tzu Chi Hospital with the help of Tzu Chi volunteers. Javo, who's 16 now, needs support when he walks. The volunteers massage his hands and feet for him.
We need to find a doctor as his hands need to undergo surgeries. I suggest that we come often to care for him so that he will be able to take care of himself when his mother is not around.
Javo's mother also hopes that one day Javo can take care of himself. However, she does not know when her wish will be fulfilled.
Naseha is a long-term Tzu Chi care recipient. Malaysia volunteers have been doing regular home visits for over 20 years now. It's not easy to get to her house each month, but they always make it rain or shine. Time after time, they have become like family members.
There are more than 30 bands on this trip.
Every month, it takes the volunteers quite an ordeal to be able to get to Naseha's home.
When they first came, the children were all still young. Now they've all grown up. This friendship has been over 24 years already.
Nasi has a dialysis patient. It's not easy for her to go out. Although the mother-daughter duo is poor, they always maintain a positive outlook on life.
If I keep being down, then life will quickly be over.
Their lives are very simple. We at times expect too much in life. From another angle, whenever I am here, it's also helping me spiritually. We need to all reduce greed and purify our minds.
Not only does Ling Yingxin volunteer himself, but he also motivated his employees to give of themselves as well.
For many of our care recipients' homes, I would ask my employees to go and fix the problems, so they all know that they are there to help fix the problem and ease their minds.
It's a real joy to have volunteers as family. It's rare because our own blood relatives aren't even this caring. The volunteers are great.
It's been 20 years traveling back and forth down the winding mountain road. This deep connection will continue till the end of time.
In China, the volunteers in Shenyang visited a Tzu Chi care recipient to bring him love and care. As he suffers from meningitis and deterioration of intelligence, he has been bedridden for many years. After volunteers accompanied him to do rehabilitation over the past 4 months, he has now improved his health.
The woman who gives the volunteers a warm welcome is the Tzu Chi care recipient's wife, Wang Xiaoshuang. The man who lies in bed is Cui Baohai, whom everyone comes to care for. He was diagnosed with meningitis in 2012, and the doctor also issued the critical notice 3 times. Now he suffers from deterioration of intelligence. The volunteers have been accompanying him to the rehabilitation for more than 4 months.
When we came to care for Baohai, for the first time he was bedbound, and he could not move his right leg.
From being bedridden to being able to stand up now, he sings happily to show his joy. Although no one can understand what he's singing, everyone knows that Baohai is really happy on this day.
It is Tzu Chi who accompanies my family. I feel very fortunate now. I believe that I'll improve my life in the future, and my husband will get better too. My family finally sees hope.
Wang Xiaoshuang is an optimistic and enthusiastic person. Having received volunteers' company and care, Wang Xiaoshuang wants to join volunteers to help more people who are in need. She said that when Baohai gets better in the future, she will bring him to volunteer together.
Next, let's turn our camera to a wholesale market in Hainan's Chonghai City, where volunteers go to store recycling before a garbage truck arrives at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. They work very quickly, and their actions have positive effects on people who have seen their efforts.
Moving extremely quickly, styrofoam boxes and PET bottles are all taken from the garbage bin, as sanitation workers are even helping with recycling.
In the process of doing this work, we have formed a relationship with this woman who works as a sanitation worker.
Moving quickly, these items are dragged into the alley. There's no time to waste as garbage trucks come to remove garbage at 7:30 a.m. It's a matter of time, and every second is important as these recycling volunteers face yet another challenge.
Why should these plastic bags be washed? This is because it will smell bad. If you don't wash them, they will attract flies.
Recycling volunteers Wang Zhu and others arrived at 6 in the morning. They work for 4 or 5 hours and still their work is not done. They still need to cart these items to the recycling company and then their work is done.
Previously, we did not accept this styrofoam, but after listening to these recycling volunteers, we started to accept it.
This morning, recycling only started 4 months ago. Originally, this company refused to accept such material, but now they are willing to take it. What has impressed recycling volunteers the most is the attitude of sanitation workers.
The sanitation workers have been the biggest change. When I first came, they would say, "Oh, this is so smelly."
From strong smells to the present stage, volunteers are helping sort waste and influence others around them here at the Chonghai Wholesale Market.
In Kaohsiung City, Tzu Chi care stations in 2 boroughs mark their 1-year anniversary. For the past year, the weekly classes offered at the care stations have helped elderly residents feel revitalized and young again. Among them, a 94-year-old grandmother remarked that by coming to Tzu Chi's care station, she has made a lot of friends and is feeling more relaxed. Here's more.
On Fridays, come rain or shine, the community seniors gather at the Tzu Chi Care Station. In Xinqiang Borough, the various activities offered in the past year, including dance, handicrafts, and cooking classes, help the seniors feel young again.
Coming here, I won't get dementia. I can make friends, learn singing, exercise, make brown sugar cakes, and plant flowers.
The master has told us that everything starts from a determination. Today, seeing how happy these elderly people become after planting potted plants, I feel very happy too.
Meanwhile, Tzu Chi's care station in Haiyang Borough is also celebrating its 1-year anniversary. This 94-year-old grandmother has never been absent.
Before I came here, I feel bored being at home. Coming here, I can meet many friends, and it is really good.
After accompanying them for a year, I've realized how active and confident they can be. In the past, they simply stayed home to watch TV and were very diffident.
I hope Tzu Chi can continue to hold these activities, harmonizing the society.
Tzu Chi's care stations offer love and care and help the senior citizens regain their confidence.
In Tainan, 92-year-old grandma Dai Chen-Rui has been a volunteer cleaner for the neighborhood park for 40 years since her husband became the bureau head. Rain or shine, she goes to the park to cut weeds and do other works. She believes that the pleasant environment can safeguard community residents' health both mentally and physically. 92-year-old grandma Dai Chen-Rui walks with her cane. She and her daughter come to the park every day. Every day she sits in the chair that she purposely stores in the park and cuts weeds. She has been doing the task for 40 years since her husband became the borough head.
I woke up every morning at 3 a.m. to clean the streets in the neighborhood. My husband believes that if the borough is clean, everyone will be free of sickness. Seeing a nice environment will also make them happier and healthier.
This mother-daughter pair working diligently in the park is the loveliest scene. She signed up for all kinds of volunteering for her daughter at a young age, and they've been volunteering together ever since.
As long as she has the energy, we support her to volunteer. Still, sometimes I will tell her that she should take a rest.
The motto of my life is to maintain a friendly relationship with my neighbors. This makes me feel good, and I'm cheerful every day.
Her selfless giving has gained her health and happiness. The joy and blessings she received in return are priceless. Tzu Chi Liaison Office in Oakland, California recently participated in a community event to promote environmental protection and vegetarianism. Meanwhile, Tzu Chi volunteers in northern Toronto, Canada also promoted vegetarian diets to officials of Richmond Hill. The mayor of Richmond Hill specially praised Tzu Chi for saving the earth as well as helping people in times of disasters.
As Tzu Chi volunteers introduced vegetarian dishes to the officials of Richmond Hill, many people were trying vegetarian hand rolls for the very first time.
And I got to feel good about the food I ate because it is benefiting the environment through a vegetarian diet, as well as promoting environmental issues.
The mayor praises Tzu Chi for integrating environmental protection with advanced technology.
I'm learning a lot about this organization and the environmental saving they do of plastic in all over the world, and creating clothing and blankets and things that they can respond to emergencies anywhere and provide information, but also things that will help the people that are in the disaster.
Meanwhile, Tzu Chi Liaison Office in Oakland, California, participated in the annual Health Day activities held by a local church. Besides singing, they also led the public in meditation practices.
Yeah, usually I meditate with my eyes closed, so it was a different experience doing it with my eyes open, and there were like a lot of people walking around, there's like a bug buzzing around, so it was a little bit harder for me to focus. But I think that if I did it for more than 3 minutes, it'd be a little bit, and I had practice, it'd be easier for me to feel. I did get to feel the inner part of myself by focusing.
Tzu Chi volunteers actively promote wellness habits. They hope the public can be both physically and mentally healthy.
Hurricane Harvey ravaged Houston, Texas in Austin last year. It's now 1 year following the hurricane, and Tzu Chi volunteers haven't stopped caring. They have conducted multiple back-to-school distributions for impoverished children.
There's a large stack of extracurricular books plus stationery that volunteers are placing into the eco-friendly bags. Each bag of school supplies were carefully prepared by the Texas Tzu Chi volunteers for the back-to-school season. These are especially for the impoverished children who suffered from Hurricane Harvey last year. The distribution in collaboration with the Just Do It Now organization took place at the Dawson Community Center in Wharton.
We met the Tzu Chi Foundation in 2016 with the tax day flood. They came out and blessed the community, and then they also came back again in 2017 after Harvey. And they're here now blessing our children with back-to-school school supplies. Thank you, Tzu Chi.
It's been 1 year since the public saw the iconic blue and white uniforms of the Tzu Chi volunteers. Their faces were full of joy, like reuniting with old friends.
The generous donations, we were able to help rebuild our home. And I just want to thank the foundation and every one of the volunteers for their time. And I appreciate everything they've done for us. Thank you.
In addition, the volunteers also went over to the St. Leon Elementary School to distribute more back-to-school supplies. One sibling group was so excited upon seeing the school supplies that they jumped with joy.
Thank you. The school supplies are very helpful because the teachers don't have to pay for those extra supplies, and a lot of that comes out of their own paychecks. So this extra help allows them to focus on other things.
It's been 1 year since Hurricane Harvey hit. Local Tzu Chi volunteers have not slowed down their footsteps, and the care will continue on in the affected communities.
Tzu Chi Foundation's humanistic education has been recognized by the local Dallas School District. The local Tzu Chi branch has been invited to conduct a teacher's training class on moral character education. Lately, Tzu Chi volunteers go into the schools once a week to teach students about humanistic cultures.
This is 900 pieces of new uniform in the colors of red and blue to distinguish the different grades. Dallas Tzu Chi volunteers went to Laos Middle School to especially hand-deliver the goods.
All of the individuals here when you bow, and it just means, I think it means a lot more, like you said, with the show of respect. Like I said, I have chills right now just thinking about all of the wonderful things that you guys do and me actually wanting to become a part of it.
Using love to inspire more love, on top of the material goods, spiritual cultivation is also important. The first step is for the teachers to get familiar with the Jing Si Aphorisms.
Character education is to care for students' psychological and social development by helping them build good characters. Every lesson plan, at the end of the lesson plan, we have a word of wisdom. We call it Jing Si Aphorism.
The words of wisdom can be used in everyday situations, and when combined with games, it can really motivate the students. The teachers tested out the Jenga game for themselves.
Every time that we tried something and if it started to lean or fall, we were like, okay, well, we're all going to have to adjust somehow. So we're really working together, but everything that came up, every obstacle that ended up coming up, we just worked through together.
The students the teacher can, those questions can guide the students to think even more deeply, and which can help them to self-reflect in their life.
With the help of Tzu Chi, it will be consistent, and then there's an actual curriculum set to it, which gives us a lot of structure here on the campus, and that's what this campus needs.
The majority of the students in the school district have a complicated background. That's why it's crucial to guide them with a good moral education. It's expected that there will be one humanistic culture class per week, combined with Jing Si Aphorisms sharings.
Books bring knowledge, and knowledge is power. An Indonesia volunteer, Harrietmi, invites her friends and family to donate books to remote villages each month. She hoped that her efforts could enable children in the countryside to have access to more books and gain a broader vision. Here's more. Indonesia volunteer Ami Harrietmi holds onto Grandma's shoulder to comfort her sorrow. This is the 8th year she joined the Tzu Chi family, and she has documented all of her experiences.
Writing is significant to me because it can improve our human culture and also record Tzu Chi's history.
67-year-old Harrietmi has 2 children. She adapted her passion for writing into publishing, especially focusing on children's education. She has noticed that children in big cities may be discouraged from reading books due to the internet, while children in remote villages face other obstacles.
Children in remote villages are interested in reading, but they lack such resources. That's the reason we want to promote this plan.
The plan started 4 years ago, which is to ask people to donate books, and then she will mail boxes of books to countryside villages on the 17th of every month. Her continuous efforts have touched many of her family and friends.
She's very concerned about children in remote areas, and she has been distributing books to many places in Indonesia. She's a role model to me.
In the beginning, it wasn't easy due to the expensive cost of postage. Fortunately, in recent years, PT Post Indonesia has offered a special rate to deliver books to remote villages. She's sent out about 2,000 books so far, and she hopes that her actions can motivate more people to join her so the children in forgotten corners can also gain knowledge from reading. Argentina Tzu Chi volunteers hosted a winter aid distribution in Gualeguay City, offering blankets and second-hand clothes to 149 families so they can keep warm. Many aid recipients also reciprocate the great love by donating their bamboo coin banks. We will leave you with these images, and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.